So what trip to Wellington would be complete without interviewing a minister? And you're lucky enough to have Chris Finlayson, the Minister of Culture and Heritage, here with you this morning. Now, Chris, we've got a huge project going on here. Can you tell us a little bit about the vision for this project, how it came about?
Sure. Well, it's actually 5 years ago today that I became the Minister of Culture and Heritage and various other jobs when John Key was sworn in as Prime Minister. So I became responsible for Memorial Park in Wellington. And a little bit of history could be quite useful. If you look at this is a photo which was taken when the Carillon was opened many, many years ago. That was a memorial which was established after the First World War, and it was proposed that behind that would be the National Museum and that there would be a great street or boulevard that would go down to the water. Well, as it turned out, the National Museum and Art Gallery was built there, but the great boulevard was never completed. And so for many years, this area, which is known as Mount Cook, was rather run down. I can recall I used to go to school over there at a place called St Patrick's College, Wellington. There was Mount Cook School there, and this whole area was very run down. And so what happened was that in 2004, Helen Clark brought home a body of an unknown soldier. In fact, I've been to his grave in northern France, and it says this body was removed from the grave to be taken back to New Zealand. So we know he's a New Zealand soldier, but we don't know who he is. So he's buried there in front of the Carillon, and then there were some discussions about how to develop this as a permanent memorial for those who fought not only in the First World War but in other conflicts in which New Zealand has been involved. So when I became the minister, it was proposed that the park be there but that the highway go through as well, because State Highway number 1 starts at Wellington Airport and finishes not far short of Cape Reinga. So what we said is we didn't think that was particularly smart, and that you can't have a memorial park, a place where people can sit and reflect, if you have a highway going through. And for that reason, we decided that when funds allowed, we would tunnel State Highway number 1 and we would complete the park properly.
Okay, so that project, you might have read on the website, is due to be finished Anzac Day 2015. How on earth are you going to achieve such a huge project in such a short period of time?
Because we've got a great team working on this project up here, and the last piece of information I had is that they were 3 days behind schedule, which is phenomenal. What happened was that we passed special legislation so that the project could proceed apace. And the team have done a fantastic job, and with a project this size to be 3 days behind schedule, given some of the weather we've had in Wellington in the last couple of months, is truly outstanding. Should we go over there and we could talk about some of the designs of the park?
Yeah, why not?
So as I said, there's the tomb of the unknown warrior in front of the Carillon, and these are steps which lead down to Memorial Park. Under there is the tunnel, is State Highway number 1. This is a very important site because it is donated by our cousins in Australia, and it's the Australian memorial on Memorial Park. It's very appropriate that it have pride of place opposite the tomb of the unknown warrior, because New Zealanders and Australians have fought together in many battles for many, many years. I've also spoken to the Monuments Commission in Washington, because the United States has a very close relationship, a historical relationship with us, and there'll be a memorial for them. I've spoken to the British and to the French and various other people, and they're keen also to have memorials recognising their comradeship with New Zealand over many years.
So a hugely significant project. How about we go and explore the construction site and see where they're up to in making it all happen?